Hey, this is Justin Bevins, and today we're doing kind of a special episode where I'm sitting here with Sandra Marsch, who's a local Canyon Lake interior decorator, and she does amazing work. We're actually sitting in her kitchen today, and you can see it's just beautiful. But what we're doing is a little video, or maybe a little series of videos, depending on how much we have to talk about, on the best way to stage your home for sales success if you're thinking about selling. So, hi Sandra.
Hi Justin.
So, anyway, let's talk about some of the most important rooms in the house, starting with the kitchen. Now, maybe before we get into the kitchen, overall, you and I have talked about this a lot of times, but the number one thing is what?
Number one thing when you are listing your home for sale is you have to take your personal your personality out of the home.
Right.
It's no longer your home.
Right.
Detach yourself from your home, which is very difficult to do. I know that.
Yeah.
But detach yourself. Depersonalize the home. Take away the pictures of your family, grandma's birthday, all of that needs to come out of the home. And then declutter your home.
Yeah.
Very important that the buyer can look around your home and say, wow, I could see myself living here.
Exactly. And if you've got too much personal stuff there,
They can't see themselves.
It's a distraction.
Exactly. They have to be able to envision their furniture in that space.
Right.
How is it going to look? And if you have too many of your things, big pieces of furniture in a small space, the buyer can't see themselves living there.
Right. Okay.
So
Good. Okay, and then so people are going to come over and be looking at the house, and obviously you've got to get it ready for photography day. Specifically with the kitchen, what would you say? Do you have any suggestions about how people can really tidy up and make the kitchen look great for photographs and for showings and in general?
first thing I would do, if you have a lot of things placed on your countertops, let's say you have a big KitchenAid, you have a lot of things that are placed out there, put them in the garage.
Right.
Find a place you can do it. Make your countertops look presentable. Very few things. Add fresh flowers, maybe, some candles, something that makes it look fresh.
Yeah.
Take away dish rags. Anything, a sponge, put it out of the way.
Yeah.
Make the kitchen sparkle.
Yeah.
You want the kitchen to be sparkling. You want you have a home chef coming in, somebody that loves to cook. They have to see themselves being able to cook in your kitchen. If it's cluttered, if there's a lot going on in the kitchen, it's going to turn off your buyer.
Yeah. And of course, it needs to be as clean as possible too.
Sparkle, has
Yeah.
to sparkle.
I notice a lot of times we look at houses like just little things like islands. A lot of times have kind of scuffs around the toe kicks and things like that. Take some time to wipe down your cabinet doors and wipe down your toe kicks and the side of your island, and just make the kitchen look spotless, because it's one of the most important rooms in the house.
It's very important. You spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, and a lot of times it is kind of the thing that everybody sort of gravitates to when they're looking at a home to buy is, what does the kitchen look like?
If you have a big picture window, if you've got a window by your sink, open your shades up. Are the windows dirty? Clean the windows.
Right.
Make the buyer be able to look out and show them that this is actually a really pleasant place to be. If it's dark, you've got to lighten it up.
Yeah.
A buyer wants to see a light, fresh kitchen to be in, and one of the number one things that you can do, nice fresh coat of paint.
Yeah.
It's very inexpensive way to lighten up, to modernize your kitchen. Beautiful fresh coat of paint in there. Helps tremendously.
Good. Okay. Now, what about people that might have an older kitchen that's a little bit out of date? Your kitchen's beautiful. It's very modern, and it's very much the style these days. But what if somebody's got an older house and maybe their kitchen is got older tile and it's just not modern and ready to go? Do you have anything that you would suggest for them to make sure that the kitchen looks as good as possible?
There's definitely a few things that you can do. Let's say you've got the white tile going on in your kitchen and you've got grout. You don't want to see that dirty grout. Very, very simple thing to do. Go in, clean your grout. You can even replace, you can take that grout out, replace that grout. That can brighten up the kitchen tremendously.
Right.
There's something as simple as your kitchen sink, your faucet. A lot of times the hard water gets into that faucet. It's very, it has a lot of the hard water marks all over. Very inexpensive thing you can do. Put a nice modern one with the pull down. Very inexpensive, and it shows the buyer a clean kitchen,
Right.
which is what we want.
So maybe it's not going to be the kitchen they want, and they know they're going to remodel it at some point as a buyer, but at least it looks like you care about your kitchen, you've taken care of
Exactly.
it, and everything's clean and everything's
Very
in
important.
good working condition.
The kitchen needs to be clean. You can have a dated kitchen, but it can be clean. If that buyer comes in and says, well, I'm going to remodel, but let's say they don't have the funds to remodel right away, they're going to be in that kitchen for a few months. That could be the difference between you selling your home.
Yeah.
They have to be able to say, okay, this is nice. I can see myself cooking in here for a few months. This will be fine. This will be fine.
Good.
Very important.
Okay, good. All right. Let's talk about bathrooms. What would you say is really important about bathrooms when it comes to
Well, bathrooms, Justin, are a huge pet peeve of mine. We have a tendency in older homes to have carpet in our bathrooms. That's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Instantly turns a buyer off. Let's take that carpet out. There are some beautiful products out on the market right now with the laminate floorings that are fantastic for your bathroom. It can freshen up that bathroom. I highly recommend, please take that carpet out of the bathroom.
Okay.
Your modern buyer doesn't want that.
Yeah. Well, and I think another thing that's important is make sure the bathrooms are really clean, because that's another area of the house where people can really get turned off if the bathroom is kind of gross. So, and of course for showings, always make sure you leave the toilet seat down. You don't want people staring into your open toilet, right?
And especially if you're dealing with an older home, over the years, you can have possibly a mold issue.
Yeah.
Little black area where the caulk used to be. Please don't just go over that. It's very simple to take that old caulk out and put new caulking in.
Yeah.
Makes a difference. Again, if you're dealing with a buyer that is going to renovate, you want to be able to say, it's clean, I can deal with this. The buyer's not going to get turned off. Ladies, please put your makeup away.
Yeah.
We don't want to see your foundation all over the sink, your mascara, your blow dryer, your hairspray, or your brushes.
Right.
You need to put it away. You need to clean your mirrors. Again, a beautiful little bouquet of flowers in there makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Nice clean towels. We don't want towels that are all been used and kind of laying around the place.
Yeah.
It's really important that the buyer can come in to your home and say, this looks nice, I can see myself here.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned about the grout and the moldy grout, because we see that a lot in showers.
Absolutely.
And tubs, and you open up the shower curtain of the shower door, and you got this dark ring of moldy caulking in there that hasn't been touched for years. And so you're right, that's an easy fix, and it's those little things. It's funny, people don't notice those things when they're done. If you're a buyer and a bathroom's clean but it's out of date, you don't really notice it going, wow, this bathroom is so amazing, it's so clean. But if the bathroom is really dirty, you definitely notice
instantly notice it. And with the awareness of mold especially, and it may not even be mold. It can just be discolored. It can be dirt that has seeped into there.
Yeah.
That buyer's not going to know that. That buyer's going to instantly say, oh my gosh, there could be a mold issue in this house, and you could possibly lose a sale over that. And it's a very easy fix to do. Inexpensive fix and an easy fix. And I completely recommend doing that.
Okay. Well, and that's one of those instances where you're going to probably get an offer that's lower than you want, because you didn't just spend a few dollars and replace some caulk and do some cleaning and some of these nice things that Sandra's talking about. And so you don't want that buyer to come in and offer you a lot less because they think that there might be underlying problems in your house.
And
like
you can guarantee they will offer you less.
Right.
For the things like that are a simple fix. We've seen things in Canyon Lake, particularly the sliding doors are older. And people don't get those fixed. A lot of times it can be a very simple fix.
Yeah.
You got to clean those tracks out.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that door opens and closes. There may not be anything wrong with that door.
Yeah.
But if a buyer comes in and they're struggling to open that door, they're going to immediately think, oh my gosh, I got to replace a $2,000, $3,000 slider.
Yeah.
And it may not be the case. So it's detrimental for you not to go through your home with a checklist.
Right.
What are the things that may be very easy, is an easy fix? I can have somebody come in and take a look at this.
Yeah.
And you're going to add money onto the sale of your home because the buyer is going to be able to say, okay, this works. This is great.
Yeah.
You want to make sure these little things are done before you even think about putting your house up for sale.
Gotcha. Okay. What about, just real quick, what about bedrooms? How do you make bedrooms look great when you're selling a house?
Declutter. Please hang up the clothes. Please declutter your closets. That is a huge thing. You may have a very nice closet, a bigger closet. I have gone into many homes where the minute you open the closet, it's a tornado hit.
Yeah.
And then you can go, oh, this closet won't work for me.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily true. That closet could be very functional, but you haven't shown it to be a functional closet.
Yeah.
So make sure things are picked up. Make sure that, especially if it's a child's bedroom, it's not showing too great. Again, a nice fresh coat, please, neutral paint.
Yeah.
Very important that the paint is neutral. You take your taste out of it, make the buyer see themselves in there.
So the deep red burgundy walls are...
Goodness gracious.
Looks like a boudoir is not what you want?
It doesn't work. If your child was going through that goth stage and there was maybe a little black paint in there, don't laugh.
Yeah.
I have been into homes where they painted their bedrooms black.
Yeah.
You have to repaint.
Yeah.
And it's inexpensive.
It's it's cheap.
an inexpensive fix.
A couple cans of paint. And a little bit of work on the
Absolutely.
weekends. Okay.
Absolutely.
What about other general rooms in the house? Living room, family room, that kind of stuff. Anything you'd suggest there?
Yes, big pieces of furniture can take, even if it's a small room, I've seen many people put very big pieces of furniture in there. You should really take the biggest pieces out, make the room look bigger than maybe what it actually is.
Right.
If you have a fireplace and the fireplace has black soot, very easy to take a toothbrush, some baking soda, water, clean that off.
Okay.
That way the buyer sees there's not a problem. Oh, I don't have to have a chimney sweep come out. It just happens. Everybody can get that on the fireplace. Personal items, books, lots of DVDs, things like that laying out, you need to put those away.
Yeah.
Make it as open and airy as you possibly can make it, because that's going to attract your buyer.
Okay, good. And how about exterior? What about, obviously curb appeal is one of the most important things. When someone gets out of the car, you want them to look at the outside of the house and go, wow, it looks great. I can't wait to get inside and see what the inside looks like. Any thoughts on exterior?
Curb appeal is huge. A lot of simple things that you can do. If you've got the grease stains on your driveway,
Yeah.
get a power washer, get those grease stains off.
Yeah.
Lots of places that you can go on the internet to find home remedies for getting that done. A little bit more pricier fix, but I think an important one is adding a new garage door.
Okay.
That can make the difference of selling your home or not. I know I personally have sold a home that my husband and I did that. We weren't happy. We had little problems with our garage door over 10 years. Put a new garage door in. It made the house pop. It was beautiful. Same thing with your front door. A lot of times the front door can have dings in it. It's scratched. Your dog scratched it.
Yeah.
Take that front door off, sand it down, put a nice, beautiful, modern coat of paint, maybe a new hardware on there. Gorgeous.
Yep.
And then the standard things, mow the lawn, pull the weeds, trim your hedges. You can put a couple of planted pots in the front. Put some beautiful, gorgeous flowers in there. Make it look bright, make it look welcoming.
Perfect, okay. Any other thoughts in general about making sure that the house looks good and you've done everything you can to get the most amount of money when you put it up for sale?
Well, there's always more costly things that you can do. If the house is not, 30, 40 years old, if it's maybe just, let's say you're looking at a 20, 25-year-old house, very, I think inexpensive things can be done. Maybe you want to put new carpet in the house. If the carpet is very warm where it's not going to clean, you should put new carpet in. If you want to maximize your profit, I say you can maybe spend a few $1,000s to gain $10,000, maybe $15,000. Because if a client does not have to remodel the entire house, I think it is so beneficial to update your home.
Well, they're always looking at things, where are they going to spend their money? And if there's too many projects in the house, it just becomes a bit overwhelming for them. So I think, like you said,
100%.
If you've done some simple things like replace the carpet, and carpet's one of these things that buyers really get hung up on if it's dirty. They can't, sellers a lot of times will say, I'll just give them a credit. And you know what it usually ends up happening is those houses usually end up sitting on the market until the sellers finally go out and they spend some money and fix the flooring, and then those homes usually sell shortly thereafter.
That's exactly right.
It's just carpet is one of those things that if it's gross, if it's dirty, if it's really old, if it's a bad color like green, blue, or mauve, or in Canyon Lake, we've seen some carpet from the 70s that's like a high, thick orange shag. That can be a real turnoff for buyers, and they just have a hard time getting over it.
They have a very hard time getting over it, and it's a 100% guaranteed turnoff to your buyer. There's some wonderful new products out in the market with the laminate flooring, incredibly inexpensive. They look like hardwood floor. A lot of the modern buyers today don't want carpet in the family room. They want laminate. You could take that same flooring throughout your kitchen into your family room. A cohesive look makes your house look bigger. It is a inexpensive fix. You can even install it yourself. I've done it. So if I can install laminate flooring myself, anybody can do that. I so recommend you do that. The minute somebody comes in, you'll see them say, wow, this is beautiful. You want to hear that. Your agent wants to hear that. And you can guarantee you're going to get top dollar for your home.
It's amazing. Laminate and wood floor, they make rooms look cleaner and bigger.
100%. And you don't want too many different floorings. You don't want different laminate, different carpet, and then a tile is here. You need that cohesive flow throughout your home, and it makes your home look bigger. It adds to the eye. It is so appealing. It makes that home look bigger, and it's not expensive. It is not expensive. So.
Okay. Well, there you go. You've heard it from a professional. The biggest thing is declutter, depersonalize, make the house look as big as possible, as clean as possible. That's what people are looking for. And of course, if you go out and look at model homes, that's what they do. So take a cue from them. They know what they're talking about.
Exactly right. And it's why they stage homes. Because you have to be able to come into a home and see yourself living in that home. And say, wow, this looks amazing. It's the same thing you want your house to look like. You want to give it that fresh, clean, almost model home look. And by decluttering, depersonalizing, fresh paint, maybe some fresh flooring, nice clean windows. Clean windows, ladies, huge. They want to see out those windows. And you're going to get top dollar for your house.
Good. Okay. All right. Well, that was kind of a long video. Appreciate you sticking with us. Again, this is Sandra Marsch. She's an interior designer and decorator here in Canyon Lake. She's available if you want staging advice, if you're thinking about selling, or if you're thinking about remodeling your home and you want advice on what to do. She's available for that. And
absolutely.
Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. And,
absolutely. Fantastic.
It was a great segment.
I hope it helps for everybody out there. We want you to get top dollar.
Awesome. Thank you.